Welcome to this week's episode of A New Lens. I'm Wild Will, and today I am joined by my rugby coach and good friend, Greg Collins.
Hello.
Greg has been a very fond mentor of mine who I have known since COVID, and just such a fascinating person through and through.
Thank you.
Um, so I wanted to just start off kind of just going about your background as a British immigrant in America and what that was like and what coming to this country was like.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a place to start. I worked in London and I had a long commute in. And My wife Angie and I just had our son Elliot, and the commute was tough. So I kind of spoke to my boss and said, "Yeah, I don't really want to be doing this anymore." And he said, "How would you like to come and live and work in Connecticut?" I'm like, "So." A slightly strange thing. So I went back to Angie and said, "You and the baby, would you like to go live in America?" She said, "Yeah." So we did. So we came over on a 2-year contract. So Elliot was 2 when we first came over. And here I am 27 years later, still living in America.
Yeah.
So it actually wasn't bad for me because I worked for the same company with the same people, a bunch of people I already knew, very familiar with the work environment. Much tougher on Angie. Didn't really figure on the cultural differences around making friends, which was I was expecting funny accent, small child. People are going to want to talk to you.
Right. Yeah, you would think.
It's in the UK, people pop round for a cup of tea and they just walk into your house and that type of stuff. I don't know whether it's just a Connecticut thing or a Northeast thing, but you kind of make appointments to go to people's houses. So we went out and came out here in November. It's grey and cold, and it was tough. It was tough. So she had a tough time. Then on came Oscar, who's our American son, and things kind of eased up. So Angie was obviously pregnant with Oscar. I think we would have probably come back after 2 years, if not.
Oh man!
But here we are. Once the kids are in the education system,
you don't want to pull them out.
No.
Wow. Oh man. I mean, you have. I mean, that's crazy. 20 years in America. I mean, what's like the difference between then and now?
So people ask me that. What's the difference between the UK and America? Where would you rather live?
Yeah.
I lived in the UK 30 years ago. So the UK's probably really different now. I go back a lot. I'm not the correct control group for that. I think the big and obvious difference is it's bigger here. Like the UK is like 60, 70 million people, and it's kind of the size of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
It's really, really dense there. So we've got a couple of acres. You've got to be a billionaire to have a couple of acres in the UK, particularly in the southeast.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So the good things out here. 20 minutes from the sea. An hour from skiing.
Oh, sure.
It's the country itself is it's big and beautiful. So
I totally agree. There's so much here to see, and like every region is so different. Connecticut is great because it is like in between so many like huge like cultural centers in America.
Yeah, absolutely. You got Boston and New York couldn't be two more different places, and then you got Washington and Philadelphia, and and you're within 8 hours from one end to the other. That's fascinating.
Yeah, you can do like just take a whole month and just do the region and like see basically every significant northeastern thing here, which is incredible.
Really. Yeah.
So I noticed you have these guitar setups.
I do. I have these two, and then these
and plenty more.
Yeah.
When did you get into music? What instruments do you like to play?
So I got into music when I was in high school. I started off singing in a punk heavy metal type band. Then started playing bass. I played bass and sang,
Mm,
and then kind of gave up for a long, long time.
okay.
And I was at a sales conference, and the company that relocated me over here, they had a band with the company,
Oh.
and the bass player wasn't in sales, so he wasn't there. So I wasn't supposed to be playing, hadn't played for years and years and years, and they rented instruments. So I went down to watch them warming up, picked up the bass. It was a right-handed bass, but it was strung for a left-hander.
Oh.
So I said to the guy who was leading the band, "It's like, is this some kind of joke?" And he said, "Oh, I think I've got a bit of a problem." And I said, "So what's that?" He said, "My bass player's been playing that for an hour and didn't notice." I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, that's a problem.
Oh.
So he said, "Congratulations, you're in the band. We're on in 2 hours." And I'm like, "I haven't played in 10 years."
Oh man.
So started playing bass. Played with the band. You know, we played however long we played for at the sales conference. And then when I came back over to the US, they said, "Do you want to come into the company band? But we've already got a bass player, so you're gonna have to play guitar." So I'm like, okay. So started playing guitar.
Wow.
That was with a band called Twisted Resistor. Since then, I now play with the Trophy Husbands, and we play out fairly regularly, and it's just the best fun. Yeah,
Awesome.
we have
Yeah.
a really good time doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen you live at Porch Fest.
Yeah, Porsche Fest is awesome.
Yeah, Porch Fest is insane. Every single year, it seems to get crazier.
Yeah. It's nuts this year. I don't know how many
Yeah.
thousands of people were there this year,
Oh
but it was
yeah.
nuts, wasn't it?
Do you where can we find your music? Do you post on like Spotify, YouTube?
So we put videos up on Facebook. So
Okay.
Facebook is kind of the place. We're a cover band. We're not originals. You know, we're semi-professional. We all have jobs and so on.
Oh yeah.
So we don't charge for charity gigs, but
Mm.
birthdays, weddings, bar mitzvahs. You know.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, definitely get yourself some trophy husbands.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
well
we're
worth
fun.
it.
We are fun, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah, it's great. The music is such a vibe. Um, I know it's not here right now. I know you happen to play the didgeridoo as well.
Are the didgeridoos here somewhere? The didgeridoo's up there. I do
Oh
have a
yeah,
didgeridoo. Should I get it?
you should get it.
I'm not very good at the didgeridoo.
That's okay. It's awesome just to hear it. You know, like someone who can actually play it is like such a hard thing to find, especially
Honestly,
in this area of the
don't
world.
pick it up very often. Good
That's
enough for
okay.
now.
Good enough for now. Yeah, it takes a little bit of warm up.
It does. The big thing with it is a thing called circular breathing. And
Yeah,
that's so I have been able to do circular breathing. So what circular breathing is, you puff your cheeks up, you blow air out of your cheeks while you're breathing in through your nose,
yeah.
which is one of those pat in your head and run at your stomach things. And it takes a lot of practice. So once you've got the didgeridoo making the right notes, which is a pretty extraordinary sound, you don't have to sustain it with the circular breathing, and that takes practice. So I just haven't practiced much lately.
Tons of practice.
Yeah.
It is definitely one of the hardest things I've felt like I've tried to learn.
It's almost meditational.
Yeah.
You know, you have to really get into a zone to do it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I love the didgeridoo. I've like been invited to some like drum circles to like play the didgeridoo.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
it's like, I mean, it can put you into like a really crazy state of mind.
100%. Yeah,
like you could get to like sacred geometry, like meditation type levels with it for sure.
Yeah, well, and you also have the oxygen level thing as well,
the
which
oxygen thing is crazy.
you know,
your chest just gets huge. It just everything. I've definitely been using it as like even to like warm up for just like getting ready to like talk in front of the camera or something, right? Like
that's neat. Yeah.
just like the humming motion and stuff, like
Yeah.
can really just get you prepared for sure.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah. So let's transition to I mean honestly the biggest thing that I want to talk about on camera, which is your row across the Atlantic Ocean that is about to happen.
My little adventure.
Yeah, quite a small adventure that only took like years to prepare for.
Yep. So it's a thing called the world's toughest row. um, which is the sort of question. So I always ask you at the end: is it the world's toughest row?
Wait, is it?
Well, it's definitely the toughest row I'm ever going to do. So you start from La Gomera in the Canary Islands and row 3,000 miles to Antigua.
What? Okay, and this is over the course of weeks, months.
Around about 6 weeks. So you take enough food for 55 days, but that hopefully is the outer limit of it. So we're hopefully we're a couple of weeks quicker than that, but
Right, and there
hard to
is
tell.
like I mean I wouldn't want to say considerable danger, but like you have been training like for literal years at this point, right?
Yeah,
Like
four
for
years, 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So the big thing is it's the World Toughest Row is organised by an organisation called Atlantic Campaigns, and the chief safety officer, who's quite a character called Ian Couch, he says to you, people say, because you're doing it in this organised way, you're not doing it the easy way, you're doing it the safe way. So there's lots of safety training, there's lots of safety courses you have to do,
Mm.
and there's a number of qualifying hours you have to do out on the open ocean. So it's safe if you are safe. So your biggest safety device is the boat itself. As people will say, what you always have a life preserver on, and you generally don't.
Oh,
So you only put the life preserver on if you're planning on leaving the boat. Most of the time, you're not planning on leaving the boat.
yeah.
So the biggest thing is being permanently tethered. You have a 3-point harness like a mountain climber,
Oh.
and you have two rails down beside the rowing seats, and you're tethered onto that at all times unless you're in the cabin.
Oh man.
So,
Okay.
so and they take videos of you and they pull you up very firmly if you're seen with either the cabin doors open or not tethered.
Oh,
So
so every boat is live streamed while this is happening.
no, it's not live streamed. You just have to submit video evidence of doing safety drills.
Oh, wow.
So that's during the training side of it. So the interesting thing this year is we'll have Starlink this year.
Mm.
So normally the satellite communication is Inmarsat, which is a semi redundant. There's a satellite over Africa, and you get this little thing and you point it at that, and it's really slow.
Oh.
But Starlink is always on. I mean, there are thousands of Starlink satellites.
Mm.
So one of the problems there is it can become a distraction. So you can live stream. You have to make sure you don't spend all your time live streaming.
Oh, sure.
There's quite a lot of rowing you need to do.
Yeah, you don't want to get stuck out on the water.
Yeah. You want to get across as quick as you can.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to stay out there for more than 6 weeks. That,
Yeah,
that already sounds terrible.
yeah. Well, there's some there. It's not even the longest row you can do. There's two boats have just rowed the full Pacific, so from Lima, Peru to Cairns in Australia, and that's like 6 months.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Yeah, hygiene is a challenge.
Hygiene is a huge challenge, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like most, I'm assuming these boats don't have like full showers or
They
anything.
certainly don't have full showers.
Yeah.
You have the luxury of two buckets,
Oh,
a
two.
clean bucket and a dirty bucket, because you don't have a bathroom.
Oh,
So
no bathroom either.
the bathroom is a bucket.
Yeah, in like the ocean.
Yep,
Okay, yeah,
yep.
yeah. All right.
Well, you can't you can't go over the side of the boat because it's getting tipped around too much. It's dangerous.
Mm.
So you do your ablutions on the boat and
Oh,
then over the side with it.
is the clean bucket saltwater or freshwater?
The clean bucket with fresh water. So
Okay.
that's for cleaning your clothes and washing yourself and that type of stuff, and washing your utensils and food bowls and that
Oh,
type of
just
stuff.
everything.
It's all in one bucket, yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, God.
But yeah, you don't be washing in salt water just because you get the salt sores.
Oh,
So
yeah.
chafing is an issue.
Yeah, I mean, you're just getting splashed with salt, I would imagine, all
Yep.
day.
Yeah. So you make fresh water. So you don't take water with you. You make it. So it's a thing called a reverse osmosis pump, commonly known as a water maker. Solar power. pumps salt water through a membrane, and
Oh,
fresh water comes out one side, and then the salt gets washed aside as seawater.
wow. I mean, how efficient is that? Like, I'm assuming you've had to like, as part of your preparations, like time in factors of like when you're gonna clean specific things.
Yeah, a lot of it's learning. And so the interesting thing about ocean rowing is you learn ocean rowing when you set off ocean rowing. So, so we do go open water rowing for training, but it's coastal. So
Hmm.
there's a couple of things about that. You can't use the water maker in coastal waters because it's too muddy and you block the filter.
Oh, wow.
So we haven't, apart from in a test environment, a lab
Oh,
environment, turned our water maker on. So
wow.
we find that out
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Equally, we can't go out in strong winds or high seas
Hmm.
because on the coast, you can smash into the coast and smash your boat up.
Sure.
When you're out in the Atlantic, you can go on much, much bigger seas, like 30-foot swells.
Oh, geez.
Uh,
So you haven't experienced like huge swells or
nope,
anything like that yet.
nope, nope,
What did
nope.
they tell you to do? Like, what is? Can the boat like flip over and you gotta like re
Uh,
or like uncapsize yourself? Like,
yes, so the boats definitely self-right.
okay.
So they can capsize. We're a four-man boat, which is the so you can have 1 to 5 people on your boat.
Oh, you
But
can do this solo?
people do this solo.
Oh God.
That's a whole different gravy.
Wow. Okay.
So, but if they do capsize, then they self-right very quickly. Um, and the larger the boat with more people on it, we have more supplies on the bottom of it. It's
Mm,
much harder to tip over.
okay.
So, yeah, technically, if you leave all the doors open and you hold it upside down and you flood all the cabins, it can technically stay capsized.
Mm.
If it does that, you need to get under the boat, close the doors, and there's a hand pump on the side where you pump all the water back out of it until it self rights.
Wow. Oh man.
We're not planning on doing that.
Yeah, that sounds like the worst case scenario for sure.
Yeah, I mean, with a boat our size, we hope not to capsize.
Yeah.
So the worst thing that probably happens is a thing called a knockdown when the boat goes up to 90 degrees, maybe a little bit beyond that, and then flips back again,
Oh,
which is still pretty traumatic.
yeah.
But a full capsize when it rolls over and comes up again, that's you'll still be on the boat. You're tethered to the boat. If
Yeah.
you're off the boat, you're hanging on the side of it.
Oh man.
So it's no fun, but
Yeah, you won't get lost
it's
at
not
least.
tragic. The worst thing is
Yeah.
being off the boat.
Hmm.
So it is absolutely shocking how quickly you're away from the boat. So
Oh.
we had one of the things you have to do is an unassisted recovery drill. So you have to jump off the boat, get yourself back on again,
Oh man.
which we did in a river on a slack tide. Jumped in the boat. By the time I'd resurfaced, the boat had moved 6 feet away,
Whoa.
and that was in no wind on a slack tide.
Oh
So
yeah.
in
Yeah.
a 15 knot wind, there is no human being that can swim fast enough to get back on the boat.
Yeah, you're just a goner at that
You're
point.
a goner at that point. So
Wow.
yeah. So the only thing we can do there is you have a thing called a drogue on the deck, which is like a parachute about this big.
Mm.
Throw that in instantly, which slows the boat down very, very rapidly.
Okay.
There's a thing called an EPIRB, which is a water-activated beacon, a satellite beacon. We throw that at the person, and then we throw them a recovery line. So you've got about 30 feet's worth of slack to get that person on the rope back in the boat again.
Whoa.
Otherwise, it's a mayday, and a merchant ship has to come out and look for the EPIRB. So,
Wow. And how long would that take?
if you're lucky, there's a boat around. If not, that can
Yeah.
be 24 hours.
Whoa.
So you don't want to be off the boat.
No, you definitely don't want to be off the
Don't
boat.
want to be off the boat.
Yeah, I think you said like a long time ago something about, I think it's like if you're like right in the middle, like the closest people to you are on the ISS.
Yeah. That's the story. So the reality is the closest people we are probably another rowboat.
Right.
Yeah, but the closest people who aren't in a boat will be on the ISS.
Yeah. Oh. They cannot help.
No. So you're 1,500 miles away from land.
Ooh. Oh man, that is terrifying. Yeah. So like what's like the longest training row so far?
So the last one we did was 40 hours. So
40
yeah,
hours.
so that was Friday afternoon till Sunday morning. So 2 nights.
Man. Yeah. And I know you've done like a 24-hour like row stream.
Yeah, we did 24 hours on ergs, which was 2 hours on, 1 hour off. So that's more rowing than we're planning to do. So
Okay.
the shifts are two rowing, two not rowing,
Mm.
and the normal way of doing it is 2 hours on, 2 hours off. Our rowing coach, who is a real character,
Mm.
and she's crossed more oceans than any other human being.
Okay.
She's given us loads. It's Dawn Smith, who's also doing the row that we're doing.
Nice.
Um, she's recommended 3 hours on, 3 hours off,
Oh.
because the gain in recovery for the 3 hours. So if you can get more than 90 minutes sleep in your three
Mm.
hours, then you're having proper recovery sleep. You're
Right.
not going to get that in a 2 hour break. So you row harder for 2 hours than three, but you recover much
Mm.
better in 3 hours than two. So we're probably going to shoot for that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So,
Yeah.
what are you planning to do to like keep yourselves occupied?
It sounds like you will have loads of spare time. The reality is you really don't. You're either rowing or you're eating, sleeping, cleaning, doing the log, planning the weather, planning the route.
Oh,
So
wow.
there's very, very little slack time in this.
Oh,
So
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
people take audio books and stuff like that. We're taking Bluetooth speakers for the deck,
Nice.
but most of that will be for music. So
Yeah, yeah. Keep you motivated while you're rowing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to listen to an audiobook.
Well, the problem is when you're changing shifts all the time, you'll be rowing with somebody different.
Yeah, you're gonna
So
miss out on a lot of context.
the plan is you row. So there's two cabins, and me and my son Elliot will be in the bow cabin, and we will row the bow position. And in the stern cabin, Will and Chris, our other two rowers, they'll be in that cabin and they'll row the stern. So
Oh.
so you row an hour and a half with one guy, and they swap out, and then you row an hour and a half with the other guy, and then you swap out.
Mm.
So you have an hour and a half shift of rowing with one person, then an hour and a half shift rowing with another person, and that's a break in the middle of it, which makes it remarkably shorter. It sounds trivial,
Mm.
but actually changing the rower you're rowing with kind of resets your body clock.
Oh. Well, yeah, it's good to know when the 90-minute interval is. So you're like, okay, this is halfway through my shift.
Yeah.
Uh,
So they are the little milestones that you work to that keep you sane. So you've got the 90-minute thing, then you've got the 3 hours. But if you think of a 3 hour shift, you're only doing that 4 times a day.
okay, so are you all stopping at some point? Like, what?
So most people stop for a significant event. So we are thinking of doing happy hour,
Okay.
because happy hour is by the House Martins is one of the songs I play with the Trophy Husbands.
Mm.
So and it's what there are techniques for keeping you sane. So you ask each other how you're feeling, marks out of 10,
Mm.
but then it's marks out of 10, talk about it or don't talk about it. Sometimes you're feeling really good and don't want to talk about it. Sometimes you're feeling really bad and don't want to talk about it. So the natural thing is like, I don't want to talk about it, so I'm just going to tell you I'm feeling good. So the
Okay.
whole point of it is sometimes I'm having a shit day, just leave me the fuck alone,
Mm.
right? Which is fine. So the breaks you'd put in, so like Christmas Day, we'll be out for Christmas Day, New Year's Day.
Oh,
We
wow.
will stop for that and do a live stream or something like that.
Oh, sweet.
So we're planning on, like Friday at 6 o'clock or something like that. Have something significant. One of the rows used to do pineapple Tuesdays. I think they used to do open a tin of pineapples. Tin of pineapples is really heavy, and you don't get many calories in it, so
Mm.
it's kind of a luxury.
Right.
So you open one tin, one Friday, and you all eat out of the tin of pineapples, and it's a super treat to look forward to once a
Wow.
week.
Oh yeah, I mean you gotta do anything you can to keep yourself sane out there.
That's the point of it, is just to
Yeah,
have those little milestones of, well, we've had another tin of pineapples, we're through another week. We're only here for 6 weeks, six
yeah,
tins of
six
pineapples,
tins. Yeah,
right? We're 1/6 of the way through our pineapples.
but are you bringing pineapples?
So we're not quite sure what we're going to do with that. A tin of fruit,
Yeah,
probably.
probably some fruit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that type of stuff. But
yeah,
again, it's a calorie density is a thing when you're stacking the boat.
yeah. I mean, I know we talked about like MREs,
Yep,
and like sugar is like a bad idea because sugar is just gonna pass right through you. I mean, how are you gonna meet? You said like you had to bring 1,000,000 calories and eat at least 5,000 a day.
that's the prescribed amount. Yeah, it adds up to about 1 million calories when you times 5,000 by 4 people times 55 days.
Right, and that sounds like it would take up a lot of space, like on a boat.
Yeah, so there are 6 storage hatches uh, around the rowing positions on the boat, um, which you fill up. And the idea is basically 4 of those are your food and yours alone. So that's kind of
Mm.
the plan. So you've got to fit all your food into one of these storage lockers, which has like an 8-inch cover on it. So you've got to pull that cover off and go down there and find what you want,
Oh my
which is
god.
an enormous amount of food in there.
Yeah.
What generally ends up happening is people barter. You change your mind if you want. We do have a complexity of one vegetarian on the boat,
Oh no.
so
That's gonna be tough.
it's not too bad. You can have high protein. Protein has a lot more calories than carbohydrates,
Mm.
so protein is energy rich. So you can have high protein vegetarian food, so legumes and so on.
Legumes. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
Nuts
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
nuts and berries,
Beans. Oh
legumes.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's the best. Beans and rice. That'll get you through.
yeah, peanuts, which aren't nuts.
Oh, what are they?
They're beans.
They're
Peanuts
beans.
are beans.
What are you? What?
There we go. There's a knowledge
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Cashews also are beans.
I thought cashews were legumes. Are
The
legumes?
legumes are
Yeah.
beans. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Legumes
yeah,
are beans.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Peanuts are
Weird.
legumes.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Yep.
So strange. Yeah, I don't know. Not my first choice. I mean, although growing across the Atlantic is not my first choice either.
No, I don't think it's anybody's first choice.
Yeah, what made you want to do it?
So it's quite a complicated story. So the first reason for doing it is because my wife's cousin got married. So it builds from there. So he got married in Antigua. So the day after the wedding, him and some mates went down to Nelson's Harbour in Antigua and sitting having a beer and saw these strange boats coming in and said, "What's this
Oh,
all about?" And said, "Oh, it's the end of the Atlantic Row." And they went, "We could do that." And so they did.
okay.
So we went out 2 years later so that they could go and see the finish of the race again. So my wife went out and
Wow.
saw when he finished, but I hadn't. So sat in a pool with a rum punch, and he was saying, "This is unfinished business for me. I don't think what we did was the right way of doing it. I think we can go back and do a much better row. Do you want to come with me?"
What?
So that's kind of the genesis of why this specific thing. But the other motivator behind it, my mother was a crazy adventurer. She cycled across Kenya when in her
Wow.
60s,
Oh my god.
just
In the
for
60s?
like. So that seems mad. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy old. Like apart from now, because I'm in my 60s.
Yeah, you're doing it. You're doing
So I guess
something
it's not that
equivalent.
old. 60's
Yeah.
not old. Um, so we set up a foundation to support people doing crazy challenges.
Awesome.
So my brother had first dibs by breaking the world record for the longest ever squash match. So he
Oh.
played squash for 40 hours non-stop.
How, what?
So squash marathons, I've done 3 24-hour squash marathons.
Like in a row?
They were about a year apart,
Oh my
but a
god.
long time ago. When
How do you even play a game for that long? There's like no end to squash.
Well, I mean, I can't remember. There are stats on how many games they played. They
Wow.
actually recorded every game,
Oh my
so it's
god.
thousands and thousands of games of squash.
Whoa.
But you get 5 minutes for every contiguous hour you play.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you get like a
if
5 minute break in
if
between.
if you have to take a break, then the clock resets. You have to go for another hour.
Oh
But what you
man.
can do, what they did early on, is you can play 4 hours straight through, and then you can bank those 5 minutes, so you can have 20 minutes.
Okay.
So one of the things I did was, I think, like after I want to say 30 hours, brought a massage therapist in.
Oh, so
So
funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they actually took a break of 15 minutes each to go and have a massage, and
Incredible.
then go back onto it, but then pretty much play continuously after that. So so there's a history of lunacy in my family.
Yeah, that is so bizarre. Yeah, so talk about this foundation.
It's the Begondal Care Foundation, which is an old English country song, which
Mm.
is the song my mother picked for her funeral.
Oh,
So my brother first set it up, UK based, um, and we do fundraisers and put the money to other places. And he runs a business, and so do I, and we share an office in London. So our businesses plan to contribute to this, yeah, as and when we can. So
incredible.
yeah, so they put some money towards Arrow as well from the foundation, so
Oh
which has
yeah.
been very, very helpful. Fundraising for this is not a cheap endeavor. Fundraising has been very, very challenging.
Yeah, you've mentioned some of the challenges to me as well, and also just like having to switch through teammates and like resetting your training hours and having to basically start from square one like multiple times throughout this.
Yeah. So we started off. So there was two of us, me and Kev, who's a really good friend of mine. Um, my wife's cousin. Then Elliot, my son, joined in. I spoke to Oscar, my other son, and said, "Well, your brother's in," and he's like, "Hell no, never in a million years of ever doing anything like that." I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
We then had a full thrower, Steve, joined in, um, but so we'd only done a few training rows with Steve, and he just decided it wasn't the right timing for him. As it turned out, he actually developed problems with his hands from a previous ocean
Oh.
row, so
Mm.
he wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. So we were down to three. So we said we're just going to row as a three. So a three is fine. Four makes more sense with two on, two off. So the shifts are harder with a three.
Yeah, yeah.
1st of January this year, Kev had a problem. The company he worked for, he was a shareholder for, unfortunately went under.
Oh.
So he lost all his funding, all his sponsors, all everything. So he had to drop out. So we had to buy him out of the boat. He was part owner of the boat.
Oh man.
And so we were then down to two. And Kev was our skipper. He was the experienced person. So it was just me and Elliot. So for a couple of weeks, there was just no path forward. And I just woke up one morning. I called Elliot up, said, "We're 100% doing this." He said,
Mm.
"Oh, brilliant. How? What have you figured out?" I'm like, "Nothing yet." So what I actually said was, "I'm doing it even if I have to sell a kidney." So that's kind of
Wow.
where I set the bar.
Oh man.
So we figured out enough to move the funding forward. We then were hooked up by the race organisers with another team who are also down to two rowers.
Oh, perfect.
So that was good.
Yeah.
So we were back up to four again, and we did training rows as a four. That was going great. And then they were struggling even more than us to find sponsors and funding.
Mm.
You know, you just have to go forward with saying, we will find a sponsor. We only need one big headline sponsor and we'll be over the line. And that just didn't happen. And it just got to the point where there are certain things you have to take care of personally. He just had no route to taking care of the personal stuff. So after 3 years of training, he had no choice but to drop out.
Oh.
So we were down to that, and that was last July. We were down to three again, and by complete coincidence, we had our fourth rower, Chris. He was lined up to do a two-person row, and just said, I'm more comfortable doing this as a four." All right. So he actually called us up a little before and said, "Would you consider doing it as a five?" And we're like, "We don't really want to do it as a five, appreciate that."
Yeah.
So we called him up and said, "Here's where we are." And he said, "This is
Wow.
absolutely perfect for me." He brought some funding along with him as well. So from July, we had to get to all of our training hours, all our training drills as a crew.
Ooh.
And the boat's in the UK. So Chris and Will are based in the UK. Elliot and I are based in the US. So we have to fly out, row for the weekend. So generally, then go into work for a week and then row for another weekend. So all of this was just a series of weekends that we had to do it, and it's very, very weather dependent. If it's too windy, you can't go out.
Oh, all right. Let's
So
take a quick break. I
yeah, so we
wanted
just done a
to.
training. We finished our training hours now. So
Right, and you're only down to 6 weeks left, which is cutting it close, to be honest.
well, so the big things were the 1st of September is the cut-off date for a lot of your safety information training and this type of stuff. And they do a pre-shipping inspection
Mm,
with the race organizers.
okay.
So you don't have to be 100% there, but you have to prove that you can get there in time.
Right.
So we got through that.
Okay, yeah.
And then the next big milestone is shipping the boat.
Mm.
So the boat shipped on October 14th. So we don't see the boat then. So we can't do any more rowing after
Oh,
that.
right,
So
yeah.
we're in that strange point now where there's no need for us to go to the UK. So
Mm.
we're not seeing each other. So Elliot and I are sitting and working out together. He's moved back home so we can train together. Uh, then we fly out to La Gomera on November
Mm.
30th. And then from December 1st, there is a strict regime of the race organisers going through all your prep. So that's the real pre-race inspection. So you have
Okay.
to take everything off your boat, lay it all out. The boat is
Oh,
completely
man.
empty,
Okay.
and then you have to restack everything back onto the boat again.
Wow.
And everything. It's interesting. One of the things you learn pretty quick is when you go out on a training row, if you need something, you'll take it, you'll use it, and then you'll just chuck it back in the cabin,
Sure.
never to be seen again.
Hmm.
So, so one of the important things is getting yourself organised in the cabin. So, yeah, it sounds like in 4 years we'd have figured that out. We absolutely have not.
Oh, no.
So it's going to be a big thing.
Oh.
Organising this, it's not big. This cabin, either cabin, aren't very big. And there's two of you living in there, swapping in and out
Yeah.
constantly. It being, hygiene is a challenge. Salt water will get in there.
Mm.
If it's rough seas, you'll have your full foul weather gear on. You've got to get in the cabin, get that off without soaking the cabin.
Oh.
So that's again, we planned on drilling that, but we were so up against the end stop of just rowing.
Right.
All we did was rowing.
Yeah.
So that we have a lot to learn. We feel like we're prepared enough to be safe and effective, but we're not
Mm.
going to be slick.
Yeah, you're just gonna stick to your regiment, like just make sure you're doing everything properly.
We're doing it safe.
Yeah.
Number one thing
Safety,
is doing
yeah.
it safe. You just be tethered all the time and doing the shift changes. Shift
Mm.
changes are the most dangerous thing because you're opening the door
And
potentially in high
untethering.
seas,
Yeah.
and you're going to have to untether to
Oh,
get into the cabin.
terrible.
So and you do that multiple times a day.
Wow.
So that's the most dangerous part.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you get some good weather for sure.
Yeah, well, some will be. So it's the definition of good weather. so flat calm sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Flat calm is like rowing through treacle. So
Oh.
you really want nice long rolling waves where you go down the waves. It lifts you up and then you come down the wave.
Oh.
So tailwinds and a decent swell is something that you want. And again, when you get big waves, there are stories of people hitting 15, 20 knots going down a wave. That feels, I don't know, I haven't done it, but I am told
Yeah.
that is terrifying. And so the first thing you do is like, we're going to tip over, we're going to pitch pole, right, which is going over
Oh.
forwards.
Oh.
So there's two things you can do: you pitch pole or go around at the bottom of the wave and get sideways on, which
Yeah.
is that's
Scary.
annoying because you have to go as fast as you can to turn around and get going again.
Yeah.
So the first thing you want to do is put out either a drogue or two drogues, or this thing called a power anchor, which is a 10-foot parachute put out the back, which just stops you dead.
Oh man.
So if you're getting blown backwards, you might want to just stop rowing and put the power anchor out. Um, but speaking to the safety officer is like, you're just being a chicken. You're giving up on your speed.
What?
Don't waste the speed that God gives you.
Oh god.
So you need to like just take your man the fuck up pills
Wow.
and do those 20 knots down the wave.
Oh,
So we're hoping we can trust to that.
yeah.
So we hope as a bigger boat to not have to put the power anchor out. The smaller boats, particularly the singles,
Mm.
are bound to have to put the power anchor out sometime.
Oh, sure. I mean, I imagine picking up speed in a single is probably easier as well.
No, not really, because they're lighter. They're smaller and lighter boats.
Mm.
So we have 4 times the food, 4 times the people, a longer boat. We have 3 rowing positions. They mostly have 2 rowing positions on their boats, just because that's the size of the boat. There are some single position boats, but not many of them go out these
Okay.
days.
Yeah.
So
What have you been doing to like mentally prepare for this? Because this all sounds extreme.
it's strange. One of the things they say not to do is other things that are considered ultra sports, like ultra marathons and stuff like that. That's doing one thing for a long period of time and taking yourself to absolute exhaustion, which is not what you're doing. You're continuously doing something and recovering and doing and recovering. So that the whole thing about mentally is the like a backyard marathon, right, where you stop once an hour. Right? That's a good time to just quit, right? So you're not going to quit while you're running.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you don't have to run for 24 hours. You just have to start every hour and push yourself going again. So it's the whole big thing of pushing yourself into things. You don't have to do anything. You can just stop and sit in your cabin. So one of the things that interesting, which I just started doing in COVID anyway, is polar plunges.
Okay.
So I go in the sea with a big bunch of friends. That's a great community. Polar plunge community. That everybody's completely crazy, obviously, but get up on Sunday morning. So there's always 3 times where you're going to quit. You get up Sunday morning, and think, I don't have to do this.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to go. So you then get in your car, and again, you just like turn the car off. Just go back home. You have to then, and then when you get there, you're on the beach.
Yeah, you're looking at the ocean.
Sub-zero, snow on the ground, right? And you know how cold that water is. So the water gets colder than ice because it's salty.
Oh, yeah.
So again, that's the 3rd time. Right? I have never quit on a polar plunge.
Wow.
So it's just one of those things. And you do get used to it. You convince yourself that what you're doing is okay. And you control your breathing. You know that what you get numb after about 2 minutes, and you know that at the end of it, you will warm up again.
Yeah, and you usually feel great.
It's incredible. It is incredibly euphoric thing to do.
Yeah.
So I recommend it. You don't do it, go polar plunging.
Yeah, I haven't done the beach plunges, but Ben has his ice bath, so I was using that.
Yeah. Right. Body by Broski.
Body by Broski. Yeah, hit him up. He is the best rugby coach around.
He has been the perfect strength and conditioning coach for me. So the big thing for me, so that's another part of the story, is 6 years ago, I could hardly walk. I was on a cane, a walking stick, from my squash days, an extremely arthritic hip. One of the differences in the US and UK is it was seen as a pre-existing condition, and I couldn't get insurance for it.
Oh.
So once pre-existing conditions were taken away, I could get my hip repaired. So I thought, for me, getting a new hip, I'm a new person. I'm going to be 25 again. I'm going to do whatever the hell I like. So recovering from the hip surgery was easy. That was nothing. Recovering from limping from 10 years has been hell.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it's like the amount of muscular imbalance because it was so long has got to be crazy.
It was ridiculous. I had no right calf at all.
Oh my god.
Literally.
Whoa.
Because when you limp and you walk like that, you're never going up on your toes.
Wow.
So you don't use your I have pictures of doing a calf raise. and
It's
literally you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
see my calf.
I believe that. I definitely got to see that later. That sounds incredible.
So the whole thing with working with a personal trainer, stroke physiotherapist, stroke athletic trainer, they are slightly different things, but it's not a personal trainer like, come on, lift one more up, right.
Yeah.
They're not the right personal trainers. It's somebody that gears everything to what you're trying to do.
Mm.
So the whole thing was injury prevention, and I had all sorts of interesting things like from my work life was hunched over a computer. So I see pictures of myself, particularly when I've been rugby coaching, of just hunched over like this.
Oh
So for
yeah.
me to stand upright was incredibly difficult. And it's interesting now doing that is really
Oh,
uncomfortable.
oh yeah.
So everything has been back training and no
Mm.
chest, which is actually perfect for the rowing as
It
well.
is
So
perfect.
it's been that. Um, I couldn't straighten my right leg, and that wasn't structural. I've had surgery on both knees, meniscus surgery, which is
Oh,
typical sporting thing. So
yeah.
they're just standard sports injuries. But I had problems there as well. But again, it's the mixture of stretching and complementary strengthening,
Mm.
and that's what I've been working on with Ben, another guy called Jack Hawken before that, who have been really really good at getting me from a crippled old man to somebody who's about to row an ocean.
Oh yeah.
It's been a journey.
That's
I've
incredible.
needed all 4 years
Mm.
to physically prepare for this. So
Wow.
somebody younger who hadn't had that big exercise break probably can prepare physically shorter than that.
Mm.
The psychological part is really just so many knocks you get on the preparation side of stuff.
Mm.
It's one of the big sayings in ocean rowing. The hardest part is getting to the start line. It probably isn't, but it certainly feels that way right now. It has been so tough. There's so many times where the sensible thing is just to quit
Oh yeah.
and just refuse to quit.
Oh yeah.
And so that's kind of my thing anyway, of just refusing to quit. And that's the big takeaway of this. You don't have to run 100 miles. You just got to take the next step. So just
Mm.
keep taking that next step.
Yeah, I can't imagine like once you're out there, I mean you're locked in. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing else you could do except cross the
The
ocean.
the most dangerous thing you can do is quit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting off that boat and getting onto a merchant ship is
Uh,
incredibly dangerous, and you're abandoning the boat.
yeah.
So you don't want to
Yeah.
do that.
No, you're just abandoning your whole team who you've trained with for so long.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if you think you're going up and down on the water like this, a merchant ship isn't.
Mm.
So to get off it, you grab a rope ladder. The boat disappears from underneath you.
Oh.
Quite potentially, could come up 20 foot higher the next time and hit you.
Oh Jesus.
So it's you can fall off. You can. I mean, there's all sorts of bad things can happen. So
Wow.
don't get rescued. Stay on the boat.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, there's so much to. I mean, I feel like landlubbers don't think about.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a lot of things I've never thought about. I mean, I have no great maritime background.
No.
My father had a yacht when I was a kid, but I wouldn't class myself as a sailor.
Sure.
So none of us are. We're all four ocean rookies,
Oh my
which is
god.
which is
And you're
good.
just going for such an extreme thing too.
Yeah, yeah. Don't do it by halves.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do it, right, commit. Just
Yeah,
go for it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I respect that.
yeah.
I've definitely done similar things with like spelunking and whatever. Just do the hard escape you can find.
Yes,
It's fine.
absolutely, absolutely. What's the worst thing that happen? Well, actually, pretty bad things.
Yeah, yeah. You could
Yeah,
break your leg. You could
yeah.
fall off the boat. It's okay though.
And it is really funny. What's the biggest fear right now? You think you got to be into crazy amounts of training and that sort of stuff. It's avoiding injury right now.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing. That would just suck so bad if you got hurt right now.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming like you've been having to dial in diet, sleep, exercise like every single day.
Yeah, not really, not really. You can't simulate. We've done some stuff. Like 24-hour row was good,
Mm.
but we just rode for 24 hours continuously,
Right.
and we did 2 hours on, 1 hour off. We actually ended up doing an hour on, a half hour off, because the 1 hour off was too long.
Mm.
Was stiffening up too much. So that was physically harder than any a 24-hour period we're going to do on the boat.
Mm.
That was pretty tough. But again, I don't know if you ever go on a rowing machine. Rowing is a 2,000 meter sport. It's 10 minutes.
Right.
8 minutes is the goal of a rower. That's 2 minute splits.
Hmm.
So your average person in the gym will go and row for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We row for 6 weeks.
Yeah,
It's just completely different.
yeah, it's like that's hard to even simulate. Like you I mean, you could like simulate a marathon pretty easy. You could just
Yeah,
go out and
yeah,
run and like just do it.
yeah.
Like
So the one thing we did do is by complete coincidence and luck, just when I signed up for this, a place called Row House opened up just a mile from my house, which
hmm.
is a rowing gym.
Oh,
So it's a
perfect.
bit like doing spinning classes, but you do it on a rowing machine.
Okay.
So it's a lot of fun, loud music, that type of stuff, and that's a really nice little community as well. It's fun. It's not extreme. So
Yeah.
what I'm doing doesn't really fit there, but yeah, I love going in there and the people in there and the coaches are great. The guy that runs it, Jason, he does a thing, the 4x4x48.
Mm.
So what you do is every 4 hours you go and row for about an hour, and then you're going to take 3 hours off, and you do that for 48 hours.
Oh God.
So which was, it's nowhere near the kind of sleep deprivation that we're going to get, but
Yeah.
it was somewhat. You're still getting 3 hours sleep and then go back and roam for an hour. So
Oh yeah.
it wasn't. It was designed to be, that difficult extended sleep deprivation type thing,
For
that type of
sure.
challenge, rather than the extreme physical challenge we're taking
Hmm.
on. But that's the nearest I've come to something that is that extended period of time stuff, and that was a lot of fun as well. I enjoyed
Oh,
that.
man. Yeah, I mean, you're one of the few people who would, I think.
Yeah,
Most people are
yeah,
not going
yeah. That
to.
doesn't sound like fun. Is it? How can you enjoy that?
Yeah,
It's
how
great.
is
I love
that
that
fun?
stuff.
Are you planning on bringing like caffeine supplements or anything like that?
Yeah. So um, certainly electrolytes.
Mm.
So certainly coffee.
Oh yeah.
Coffee is a big thing.
Doing like Keurig cups or like how would you even make coffee on a boat?
It's a good question. One of the important things is hot water is essential
Oh
because the
yeah.
meals need hot water. So
Okay.
the MREs, you pour hot water into them. I have a thing called a jet boil, which is like a camping stove, but it's a propane butane mix that boils water extremely quickly.
Okay.
So there are several ways you can mount it. Some people put it on a gimbal, so it goes with the flow. We're actually not doing that. We are putting
Mm.
ours in a foam tube, so you put it in there. So we at a rolling sea, we can't really do it. So
Okay.
you pick a flat sea, you boil it up, fill up as many flasks as you can, so thermos flasks,
Mm.
and the thermos flasks, one for hot water, two for cold water. When you make
Mm.
it comes out sea temperature, which is
Okay.
pretty good. Leave it on the deck, it gets warm, so you're drinking warm
Mm.
water. So you have one for cold water, one hot water, and we're probably going to take a third one full of coffee.
Wow.
So you take everything in small packets. It sounds like you want to take everything in big packets because it's in bulk.
Mm.
If you do that, it gets ruined. Everything
Oh
gets
man.
seawater in it. So the little 1 cup instant coffee packets, we take them.
Wow. Oh
So
geez. Okay.
yeah. So we might take some a bit bigger because we're going to make flasks of it. But
Sure. Yeah. If everyone's drinking coffee, you can make something a little bigger.
yeah, so just like the thermos coffee mugs, but not particularly massive ones, just because it will get cold over a period of time, and yeah, we have to stop rowing to drink. So
Yeah, it's not for everyone to drink. Are you bringing alcohol? Bringing beers?
so most people, so not beers. Most people bring something. So Christmas Day. So typically, traditionally it'd be rum.
Mm.
Just
Just because you're a sailor.
because sailors take
Oh
rum.
yeah.
So possibly that. Bottle of champagne for Christmas Day is fairly traditional for this, but that would kind of be it. So some people take none.
Mm.
Some people will take like a couple of bottles of spirits,
Yeah.
a rum and a whiskey and stuff. So that's not really going to slow you down,
Right.
but it's not going to be a regular thing.
Yeah.
It's just going to be
No.
toasting and that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna affect your rowing. So
Yeah, somebody did say,
yeah.
don't you drink rum when you cross the equator, which is it's a traditional thing to do. You
Oh.
drink one and then you throw one in for Neptune.
Oh, no
So, but
way.
we're not crossing the equator,
Okay,
so
right.
that isn't a thing. So,
Yeah,
so we
you're.
haven't completely decided on that.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Well, definitely. I definitely want to know what happens. I'd love to interview you when you get back for
Well, you can
sure.
interview us on the way over.
Oh, no way.
We'll do a live stream.
Oh,
How about
awesome.
that?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, so it won't be as long as this one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely not.
But yeah, we'll definitely stay in touch.
Sweet. Absolutely, man.
Uh,
Yeah. Thank you so much. This is awesome,
uh,
and like good luck because this has been so much just going into this, and you know you're so passionate about it, and I really hope you make it safely.
thank you, man. Pleasure. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, you too. All right. This has been a new lens. I'll see you next time.